frigging miserable today. It's so angry and miserable.
Absolutely shatting horrible out there. Here's the thing, right? This
Tell me a
is the third Touareg by my reckoning, right?
It probably is only the third.
Now, Touareg 1, not very good. Do you remember Touareg 1?
Now, when did first gen Touareg kick off?
About 2002 or 3, I think. And Touareg 1, I remember driving and thinking it felt unfinished. They'd sort of. Do you remember?
Was Touareg 1 the curvy one that looked a bit like an XC90 and it came with a V10, an optional V10? See, I like that one.
I don't know. I drove a very early one, which I sort of feel like maybe it literally wasn't finished. But
well, you drove an early unfinished example.
Yeah. Well, it had no doors, so I should have guessed. Really. No, it was. It just. You know, some cars they somehow they feel very polished.
Yes.
As if that just a lot of people have got it to a certain point and they've gone, right, let's just keep working at it, right, those dampers need just a little adjustment on the setting. Yeah. Let's just do something that will make the the steering column just more rigidly located. So it's just that sort of final finishing school for cars.
Yeah.
And some cars feel very, very finished. And some cars, it feels like they've got to about 90-95% and then gone, get it out the door.
There's just too many adjustments. I just can't decide.
I've lost track of what we did before now. I tell you what, is it all right? It's okay. Do the brakes work? Yeah, good, fine. Put it on sale. And I sort of felt like with that first Touareg when I drove it, I just thought it just feels like it needs more polish. And you remember it was twinned with the original Porsche Cayenne.
Yes.
And it was almost as if Porsche had gone, look, we need to do an SUV because we need to get some money in, and we think they're going to become super fashionable.
Yeah, sadly true.
Can't really afford to go it alone. VW, do you want to go in on this? And they went, yeah, sure. This is a good idea. And then they just got a box of parts from Porsche and they went, oh God, they haven't labelled any of this.
Oh, we don't really know what to do.
Just bang it all together and just put
like
that V10 diesel in it. That'll get people talking.
It bloody well will.
And that wasn't actually a very nice engine, I thought. Very torquey.
Maybe I'm looking at the original Touareg through rose-tinted glasses.
Twin-tinted glasses.
Because it was the car I drove to my wedding.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I won't say it's my wedding car because it wasn't my wedding car, but it's the car I drove to my wedding, and it was the V10. And I had to tow a trailer to my wedding, hence why I chose that car. Because I towed my actual wedding car on a trailer to my wedding.
Oh, I see. So you towed your actual wedding.
I just towed my wedding.
Or your wedding
that
cake.
V10 you could have towed. And I also
very talky.
I remember meeting a guy. When I was filming an episode of Fifth Gear, I remember meeting a guy who had a V10 Touareg, and he was running it on biodiesel that he made himself, and the thing was fantastic, and it smelt fantastic, and I just thought, this is great because it's a powerhouse of a thing. I mean, I think it was the most torquey engine on sale.
Yes, it was
right
until. Do you remember Audi did that V12 diesel in the Q7?
Yeah.
For all of about 10 minutes. I mean, those engines,
just as a quick statement to say, by the way, you can't have it all your own way.
They must have handmade those engines like in a sort of prototype way, because I mean, they sold sort of 2, surely.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you use full throttle, then it reversed the orbit
it turned the globe into a treadmill, and
like,
you just stayed there, and it
like
just
in Superman. Time started going backwards.
You just hamster wheeled the globe a little bit with all the torque.
Like a claw on the outside. So I don't know, that V10, it was a sort of novelty, wasn't it? You went, oh, V10 diesel with immense amounts of torque, and also it wasn't very nice in the Phaeton either, not compared to the W12.
Phaeton.
So yeah, Touareg 1. No bueno, I thought.
Okay, well,
Touareg 2, lovely car, an underrated car.
I don't have any memories of the Touareg 2.
I remember going out in the Touareg 2 and thinking, well, if this is as underwhelming as Touareg 1, then I am not going to enjoy it. And then going, what a pleasant car. And this, I think, carries on in that tradition. It's a pleasant car.
I think the cabin that we're looking at, when you first get in, is spectacular. I know that I read that this is optional. This huge 15-inch screen that goes from there to there.
It's standard on this because I think this is the R line.
Okay, R line.
So
right,
this is the R line. I mean, the name takes 15 minutes to say. It's like the VW Touareg R line Tech 3-litre TDI V6 4Motion 296 PS 8-speed Tiptronic.
I'm asleep. I'm not even awake anymore.
It's
just R line.
It's got like a subplot halfway through it. It's a really, really wordy name for a car, but basically it's sort of, this is the
okay,
sporty-ish V6.
That's 15 inches, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the lower ranking ones, you get all of this stuff down here, the seats and the temps. These are all real tactile buttons.
Oh, are they?
On the lower ranking one with a smaller screen.
Because you look in here, look how few buttons there are.
Yeah, there aren't many.
All the climate's on there. These, you've got these little shortcuts. Notice also it's got the proximity stuff like on other VW stuff.
My e-Golf has gesture for the radio and stuff.
Actual gesture?
When I put my left hand on the wheel, if I go to indicate like that, it will change from Radio 1 to something awful that I'm not interested.
Well, that's just annoying.
Well, it's not useful, Rich.
Gesture control is a classic example of technology that exists because they can.
That's my worry.
Do you know, I've heard that it's going to be on the new Defender.
Gesture control.
And I think that's awful. I mean,
that's
unless
so un-Defender.
They're going to dress up as going, well, it means you can use controls while wearing very thick gloves. It's just give it big buttons.
Give it big buttons like we have in the chimney.
Yeah, just big buttons. That's all you need. That's what
Volvo always did, isn't it? They always made the buttons bigger because of the gloved hand.
Yeah. It's got a heated steering wheel as well, so I don't need my gloves on.
I do like a heated wheel.
But since we're on this, I do like a heated wheel, but ideally for things like that, I just want a little button that turns it on and off. What you've got to do here, and I've seen worse, you go into your aircon menu and look, there you go.
You go into your aircon menu?
Yeah, aircon menu.
How many stages of heated? You've got 3 stages.
3 stages, I know. So it's kind of...
That's
feels a bit lavish, doesn't it? Let me talk you through some of the other technology that's on this Touareg, because what I quite like about it is when you get a massive screen like this, and it mostly works well, it sets a tone, doesn't it? It's a tone of high technology.
It's a bloody big
This
tone.
is a high-tech car.
It does feel very high-tech, because it's because the centre console is no longer in the centre, it splurges across to you all the way through. So actually it's from there to there. It's like 3 feet of screen.
3 feet of technology.
Yeah.
But quite nicely done. High res, good glossy look to it. So
it's
it doesn't look too Dixon's. Yeah, is that faux?
It's faux leather. It's rubber that's stitched to look like leather.
No. Is it, or is it plastic? Or it's sort of
it's
soft.
Rubber or plastic.
They spray the plastic, don't they, with a sort of soft coating.
With the rubberized coating.
It rubberizes it. Just something funny though, because the screen's so big, they've gone, yeah, big screen, good. Now where are we going to put the vents? So what they've had to do, pop them down there.
I noticed they were under this ledge.
What are they? Yeah, total ledge.
You never say that, do you?
No, it's
Please.
awful. How much is that doing? Except that, so do you remember the Phaeton?
Yeah.
The dash vents, actually, you could close them. Wooden panels came over them, and it had sort of diffused heating.
Yeah.
And I remember a car engineer, not from VW, another car engineer, said to me, that's the way, it'd be much better if you just did all your heating and cooling of car interiors, a gentle
through diffusion
of air. But unfortunately, people like to feel a draft. And
do they? I don't.
Well, no, I don't particularly either. But apparently, that's what the research suggests. That's what customers want.
Another Audi Q2.
Oh shit! I was so distracted then. I just curbed it. That's fuck me. That's a schoolboy error.
Yeah, you bad bastard.
Oh no! It is quite big. This.
Yeah, and that's the thing for me. I think
look, you stand on it.
Yeah. Well,
it skips. It really skips along. Which,
the 8-speed box. You said it's a 3 litre V6.
Yeah.
286 PS. I mean, it hustles, but
it does hustle. It does 0 to 60 in like 6.2 seconds. And I meant to look this up, but I'm pretty sure that like an original Ferrari 308 probably was about that.
yeah,
There you go. It's moderately insane that
yeah.
vast, lumpy SUVs with diesel engines now have the performance of 1970s supercars.
Yeah, yeah.
So on the platform thing, I've just argued in a national newspaper as well that the Touareg is quite expensive. This is base model 58 grand for this spec. 58.
I was going to say, so it bases at 50, doesn't it, or just under 50?
Yeah. But this R line, blah blah blah. I won't say the name again. We haven't got time. But it's 58, and you get most of this stuff on it. But this, I think the glass roof's optional. This paint, very crisp white paint, but it's like a 1,700 quid option.
17.
Yeah. And so this actual car is £72,000, which is a lot. It's a lot when it's short of making me
yawn. It's not. Does it look like an expensive car when it's parked outside your place?
Funnily enough, 2 people have commented on this car to me. I mean, one of them is my wife, but you know, she's a keen critic of cars. She went, "Oh, I quite like this."
Yeah. Okay.
And then she admitted it's because she's American and she's just automatically impressed by large SUVs. But she did go, "Oh, I like that."
Did she have to become a little bit more European and think about it? And go, oh, maybe it's not.
No, she just fired a handgun into the air and then shouted USA a few times.
Of course she did. Yeah, I mean, I fully expect that.
Well, yeah, it was a Saturday. And then one of our neighbours went, "Oh, what's that? I like it." So, you know, it's somehow, because it's sort of quite big.
It's big,
and maybe just big things are impressive.
I tell you what, the Touareg's always been good at is being big but inoffensive as an SUV.
Yeah.
It's not a divisive-looking car often. I don't think it ever has been. Whereas the Cayenne always has been. The Q7 more so.
Yeah.
The original X5, I still think is a good-looking car. I think it's got worse.
It's definitely got worse. Actually, I thought the second one was peak X5. I loved what car designers call surfacing. Yeah. I loved the way that it flowed into the back wings and stuff. Some really sort of smooth transitions of metalwork just sort of flowed, and it sort of quite beefy without being too pumped up.
Yeah.
That was my favourite X5 was Gen 2, but you're right.
Because this competes with the X5, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but I don't think it's as handsome as it could be because it's a bit too creasy, and the grille at the front is really big.
The grille at the front is massive, and it works on some of the VW models, but I can't help thinking that they're trying to universalise the face of the VW cars too much, or they have had, like Audi, and I'm a bit over it. I'm almost wondering whether Seat have got the most interesting... I nearly said sign language, I didn't mean that. Design language. They might have sign language.
But they go a bit creasy, don't they?
They do go very creasy.
Also, VWs have always sort of had the same face, like right back to, you know, a Mark II Golf, Mark 1 Golf had the same face as a Polo at the time.
Yeah.
The Passat was broadly similar.
Yeah.
But what VW, they've gone a bit baroque, a bit sort of over the top, where they used to be very simple.
Yeah,
and I thought they were going back to simplicity, and now they seem to have gone a bit.
I think their ID range is going back to simple.
Okay.
I think they're gonna use the ID range, the electric. Well, the lines are very, very simple.
Okay.
They're trying to show that it can be sort of attractive and simple, and also be, you know, teeming with tech.
Nice. Oh right, yeah. See, there's a Q7. I just think. That is it's an in-your-face, obnoxious car. Look how big I am.
The Q7, the original one, to me, I always described it as a wedding cake with one more tier than you really needed. You just go, I'm just going to stick that bumper on, and then that chin spoiler, and then that bumper chin spoiler thing.
Yeah.
And you just go, I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it. I think the boot's bigger than the Q7.
Is it?
And it might be bigger than the X5. Yeah.
Ooh.
But I'm wondering.
It's very big.
Would you rather have this than like a Passat 4-track or whatever they call it? What do they call that Passat that's off-roady a bit?
All-track, is it?
All-track.
Yeah.
I had one of those a while back with almost every option on it.
Yeah.
And the cock. It's just a pub called the Cock. Okay, all right. Would you rather have something like a Passat All-Track, you know, roomy, quick, quite smart, some trick options on it, you'd still have a ton of money left over? It's a different segment of car, I know.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking.
I'm not disagreeing with you, because yes, I sort of would err towards that. Or quite frankly, just go for the daddy. Go for a Volvo XC70.
Oh yeah.
Because they're just nice.
Yeah.
But the only reason to have SUVs, as far as I'm concerned, is when you have children, it's just easier to load small children, and that's the big boon for me.
Everything else, I still think most of them can't fit three Isofixes abreast.
No, but that's not something that I ever need to do.
Well, I don't have 3 kids, but when I'm ferrying other people's children.
Oh, I see. Yes.
And you do think to yourself, I've got a car of such large dimensions. If it can't do that, I find it slightly disappointing. I've spent a lot of money on it, and it's a wide car. Why won't it package 3 Isofix children?
It's odd, isn't it? And I don't think it's always necessarily to do with the absolute width of the car, because I'm sure a while ago someone told me that the Audi A4 Avant was the only one of those compact estate cars that could do 3 across. The 3 Series C Class, all those couldn't.
Yeah. But it's a question that people raise a lot, and manufacturers don't really answer it a lot.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, 4-wheel steering on this.
Is that an unrequired complication?
I think it's an unrequired complication, but I think that you see, because this is the thing, because of the gene pool, they can do it.
Right.
Because
they didn't pay for the R&D.
The Anus has 4-wheel steering, which in turn I think comes from the SQ7. So,
S Club 7, yeah.
So when you open the big box marked VW lengthways engine SUV kit, if you've ticked your order form correctly, it comes with some 4-wheel steering components that you can put onto a Touareg unnecessarily.
This is a loud car.
Do you think?
Yeah, I noticed that when we were on the previous dual carriageway.
On gritty surfaces it is, because it's German, and they always are, aren't they? I can't think of a German car that doesn't suffer because they don't have this kind of road surface in Germany.
Yeah, it is loud.
And,
I think it's loud. It's got a glass roof, which probably makes it worse, but...
Yeah, because I was going to say, overall, and when you're not on such gritty tarmac, I think it's actually quite a quiet car. In fact, it's a very quiet car.
Okay.
So I sort of think, well, now, would you have, if you didn't need 7 seats, would you have one of these instead of an Disco?
I don't think you'd have many conquest purchases, as they call them in the dealerships.
No.
I don't think you could get a disco person out of a disco and into this.
Well, that's it. That's a good point.
There's not enough there to steal you.
That is a very good point. It's interesting. So this is fine, but
it is fine.
I mean, it is. I
like the ride.
Ride's good. I take it a bit softer. Do you know what? It's got these settings, and I've got it in comfort. But then there's also normal. You sort of go, well, comfort should be normal.
Comfort, it should be.
It's normal to want to be comfortable.
So have you just switched it into normal?
No, I'll do it now. Ding.
Where does it tell you? Oh, there's massive information.
There you go. See, and it is just. I think it's just a tad.
So you've got Eco, Comfort. Do that again. How many settings?
I'm going to go down into Comfort again.
Eco, Comfort, Normal, Sport, Individual, Off-Road, Snow. Crumbs. That's a myriad.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Myriad options.
Yeah.
Did you say myriad of options or myriad options?
Myriad options.
It just never sounds right.
It's like anathema. It's not an anathema.
It's just asthma.
Yeah.
Asthma.
Asthma. Yeah, an asthma attack. That's different. But there was an open gateway into a field there, and for a brief moment I thought, I'll just go drive into that field, but I don't, I get shot at.
If it's fallow land, I would say fill your boots. If it's not fallow
crops,
land, that's just evil.
So I think what's interesting about this is that, and I have tried to argue this when I wrote about it for a newspaper, that you are getting Bentley spec hardware for a Volkswagen price, or Lamborghini spec hardware.
Lambo DNA, yeah, Bentley DNA.
Now the converse is, you could argue when you buy a Bentayga that you're paying Bentley money for Volkswagen parts. That's the converse. But the point is, you could make a case that this is actually quite good value, because it's not insanely expensive for what it is.
I originally thought of it as being expensive for what it is, but then when you talked about the Urus, the Bentayga, the Cayenne, the Q7, you're going, well, they're all vastly more expensive.
Yeah, They
so
are.
where do we stand with this?
It's a nice car. If you came to me and went, I'm going to buy one of those new VW Touaregs, I'd say, fair enough, it's a nice car.
Yeah.
If you said to me, I've no interest in the new VW Touareg, I just think I'm going to get a Discovery or any other kind of SUV, I would probably say,
okay then.
fair enough. Middle ground, if you went, I'm looking to buy a big SUV, and I've looked at Discoveries, they're quite nice, and I was thinking, you know, that maybe the Audi Q7's a bit big for me. Anything else? Have you thought about the new VW Touareg? No, I hadn't. Are they any good? Yeah, they're quite nice.
You're just reading out scenario after scenario.
I know. Yeah, I could keep going on. If the I don't know, the novelist Frederick Forsyth came to me and said, "What's that big VW SUV like?" I'd say, "It's quite nice, Frederick. Do you want one?" No. Because that's what he'd say. He's just being belligerent.